We all know the story too well. Step 1, find out about an escape room. Step 2, play, fall in love, and become obsessed with escape rooms. Step 3, become an owner. Well, not for these guys. Their step 3 went something like this. Play as many as you can while you can, and oh yeah, let's write a review. Ranked number 11 in the top 48 escape room bloggers to follow, I had a fantastic conversation with Mike and Jason, and I seriously cannot wait to catch up with them in person. It's time to meet the escape room guys, here on Find Your Escape. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. My name is Amanda Contreras. I am your host of Find Your Escape, and I am here with the escape room guys, Mike and Jason. I'm really excited because you guys are the first reviewers I've had on the show, so thank you for being here. I'm really excited.
So honored.
I am definitely super. I should be bowing to you guys. So we're just gonna jump right in. Tell me kind of how you guys started your escape room life, and who were you before you were ranked number 11 of the guys to follow. I did see that on your website too, because I think that's pretty awesome.
We did too. That was kind of a random thing we found out via another blogger's Instagram.
Okay.
I take full responsibility for the escape room.
Why did I think you would?
It was late 2015. I found a Groupon or Living Social deal for an escape room in Northeast DC. So I grabbed a bunch of friends and we went. It was, I think, 8 of us and 2 random, still hungover and drunk from the night before guys. So we were useless.
So we started developing our rules that game.
I'm sure you did. Right. I'm sure you did. That's awesome.
So we just grabbed the team. We went and we sat down at a place to get a bite right after and talked about it for a couple of minutes. And we're like, all right, when's the next one?
Mm-hmm.
And we've averaged more than one a month ever since.
Yeah.
So 3 years.
But even with that first room, we started to learn the rules of like how we're going to play the game. So these guys, like, we had a noon booking for the room. They showed up a minute, like the second that we were about to walk in the room and start the room. They still stank of alcohol. Like, they were mumbling. They decided that they were going to try to take control of the room. And like after 15 minutes, you know, we had had enough of that. So we had solved a number of puzzles and put them over in the corner of the room. So I went over and I said, oh, we really need to get into this box. And like, I had relocked the box after we took everything out of it. So they were over there just trying random combinations for like 45 minutes.
Well, until the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, now you see in other places the tip they tell you is to only bring your friends. You'll buy the entire room.
Correct.
We put that on our tips and tricks based on experience, and this is really the one that did it. There's only been maybe of the 100+ rooms we've done together, less than 10 of them have been with like us or our group and other people that we don't know. And that's not to say that's necessarily a bad thing one way or the other, but it's more enjoyable when the people you are with know what they're doing, or at least have an idea of what they're doing, and you know you're friendly with them. You don't mind yelling at them from across the room or throwing things at them. But that's the case, maybe.
But it's also fun. Like, we've done a couple rooms with random people, and there was a father and a daughter team that had never done a room before. So
they were fun.
So it was fun with them. Like, we did the Friday the 13th room in Georgetown, and they loved doing the room with us because they weren't clueless going into it. So we were explaining things as we go in, and that's kind of our philosophy with rooms is we'll take our group of friends, like we have a core group, but then we'll also add in additional people like within extended groups of friends who have never done the rooms before. So we're always breaking in ERVs, which we call escape room virgins.
I was about to say, I read that. I knew exactly where you're going with that. That's pretty funny. So you guys are based on the East Coast.
Yep, Alexandria, Virginia.
Virginia, okay. So where did you said you guys started in Virginia, and how far up, down the coast, sideways, West Coast, England, where have you been?
Well, let's back it up just one step and say, so we met 5.5 years ago, 6 years ago, I lost count, but we live in the same condo building.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess we should go back to my original question. Yeah, how did you guys start?
We met at a building sponsored, mixer event, meet your neighbor kind of thing. I said, hey, does anyone want some scotch? He said yes, and I ran up to my unit to go grab a bottle.
You're like, new bestie! New bestie!
Exactly. So that's how we met. And then, yeah, the as I mentioned before, the escape room in November 2015. That's the first one we did.
But we do a lot of game nights. Like, so he had friends, I had friends. Like, we started doing like regular game nights and introducing a core group, and so we started up game nights, random types of games. Not the old school games like Clue and chess and things like that. We go more into the cooperative games like Pandemic and things like that. So that's how that started, and that's how Jason came up with the, hey, let's do a live action game. But where we're located in Virginia. I've lived here I came here to school, to go to school in '94. So I've been quite a long time, and I've worked here ever since. I work in publishing and project management. So I'm more of the, I guess, the rote and rules person. Jason's more the think outside the box.
Yeah, I'm more the logic and odd kind of thinking person. So we have, everybody's got their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm very impatient, so if I can't figure something out in like 30 seconds, I will throw it on the floor and walk away and do something else. Not literally, but I will walk away. And then he comes in and vice versa. If he can't figure something out, I go figure it out.
I'm very methodical.
Which is why you deal with Twitter and you deal with Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn.
So, but
Yeah, I had a hard time with LinkedIn.
We've done, I think I updated my bio on our site with the states that I've played in. So New Jersey, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Louisiana, California, Ohio, North Carolina.
Louisiana.
I said that already. I think that's DC.
But I will say that I hold the record for the escape room done furthest away. So
Which is where?
So when I was on vacation with my girlfriend last summer in Croatia, we did
Texas.
we did one we did four. One in Dubrovnik, which was based on Game of Thrones because King's Landing is filmed there. That was a cool room. That's one of my favorites. And then we went north to Zagreb, and that's where Nikolai Tesla is from. So they have a Tesla room, which is like all gadgets and things like that, which was like the most difficult room I've ever done.
So you guys have played over 100 rooms, right?
Jason's played
111 apparently,
and I've done 108. So I'm closing the gap.
But
he travels more for business than I do. So
I've got a trip to Vegas in a couple of weeks for work, and I just created the list today of the places I want to contact.
Speaking of, do you guys recommend, well, actually, how many of you guys played in one day, and do you recommend players playing how many in one day, or how many is too much?
We've done 4, the most in a day, but they were all back to back. So we didn't do like 2 in the morning and then 2 later on in the evening.
You just did bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
I mean, if you enjoy it, go ahead and do as many as you want or can.
If you're traveling more than an hour to do one, then do at least 2, because why take the time to settle?
That's actually why we did 3. We're planning on doing 3 and then did 4 that day, because we don't want to have to drive the hour change.
Do you guys tell them, hey, we're the escape room guys, we're coming, or do you just show up randomly so that you can really experience it without them, like, possibly knowing that you're coming in?
So when we first started off, it was more, we're just going to go and do the rooms that we want to do. But ever since we started branching out, like we've been asking for discount codes from companies to help them build some more of an audience. We do video reviews with the owners and things like that. We'll contact people and say, listen, we're going to be in the area. We've checked out some of your rooms. Like, we'd love to come in and try some of them out. If they don't want to give us the room for free and we still want to do the room, we'll still pay to do the room. We'll still do the interview. We'll still take the discount code. But because we're doing like the additional, like for our rubric and everything, like we don't give good reviews just because we get to do the room. Like, tell people that very upfront. Like, we have a rubric that we follow, but we have very in-depth reviews. Like, we're not gonna ask you to come in and do a room and then write up 2 paragraphs and then give like very high level, like, hey, it was fun, you should go and do it. Like, we have a rubric that we established. We have We give all the logistics for your room. We have a lot of links like Google Maps, so if someone's looking for it, they can pull up the Google map to your location right there. And then we have like a very specific scoring section. So it takes probably about 2.5 hours for us to do a review, plus the logistics, plus
just to get the text written is about 2+ hours.
And then we do the embedded videos, the team videos, and then just the ratings themselves. So I think that's what makes us unique too, because with most of the rooms that we do together, you get a dual perspective of the room. So it's Jason says and Mike says, and then there's a lot of group thinking that we think alike on certain things, and we completely go off the rails somewhere else.
So to you guys, what makes rooms amazing? I mean, what makes a really good escape room? What do you guys look for when you guys go in and play that's like, aha, this is a good room?
Well, there's a couple of things that every room should have. One of them, we, on our reviews, the worst and oftentimes the lowest rated sections are the story and the mission. You can just say, all right, you got to find this thing. Like the very first room we did, you had to find a physical key to open the door and leave. Sure. Cool. That was our first room. We didn't know any better. As we've gotten up to 100+, now we saw places that are like, oh, you just need to leave. Okay. But then there's other places that you have to do this, then you have to use that first thing you had to find to do something else, and then you have to escape. So think like Indiana Jones, he's got to find the golden idol, and then he's got to escape or evade the giant boulder, and then get out of the pyramid. So we do like the multi-mission rooms, but on top of that, the story. If you're just in there and you throw together a story as an afterthought after you've built all these puzzles and try to string it together, don't even bother making a room. Like it's a waste of everybody's time.
So that's part of. So I always look at like how the story and the mission and like the cohesiveness with all the puzzles and everything work together. So, if you're in like a 1400s medieval room and there's a combination lock there, like it kind of takes you a little bit away from the experience. Like find out a way to use an old style key padlock that pops up, or if it's like a wizard's room and there's locks in there, it's like, you're in a wizard's room, like he's going to have things magically sealed. So go with the RFID and the mag locks.
Right. Fit the theme. Is there something that makes any escape room stand out from the rest, and what makes them unique?
In the design of them, as long as you're not purchasing a design and just rebuilding it and playing it, that's okay. As long as, I think the companies that do that should have like a disclaimer at the bottom of that you may have played this game somewhere else, because they may change the name of it, and then you go into this room and then all of a sudden it's like deja vu.
And then it's a waste of money.
Yeah, and that's totally fine, but like if you bought the room and it's like 50 miles away, like escape room enthusiasts who do those rooms are likely going to do your room and that other room and then find out, we've done this before. So the good thing about rooms is that they all can be unique. Even with the franchises that sell business plans and things like that, if they customize it just a little bit, that's, I think, what makes each room stand out. Is we've done many themes on prisons and many outbreak themes and, things like that. So, but they've all had their own unique spin. So in most of the reviews we say, we saw something we didn't see before. And like, that's the really cool part about it, is that you will see something you haven't seen before. You might see an adaptation of it, but it's still something that's unique to that room.
I wanted to bring up too, you guys do consulting.
We do, and it's more, it's a potential relationship builder. So if we go and we do a review for a room, we've seen it not as much with established companies who have been around a while and they're constantly changing their rooms around. Those are the groups that they have it down. Like, your company, like, how to build a room, how to design a room. It's the people who have no it's people who contact us for consulting. They have no background in how to design a room. They may have never even played a room. So we'll always have an initial consultation call with them and say, this is really what you're in for. We don't have a brick and mortar location, but we have designed a number of rooms. We do corporate pop-up rooms for training and things like that. So those have been fun. So everything goes into that. And I think it's actually a little bit harder to design a pop-up room because you can't go high tech because you can't move the magnetic locks and the RFID chips. So if you do have to use a lot of combo locks, like you have to make it and put it in a way that's still fun.
Right. And no secret doors.
Yeah. And still build the story and the mission out like really well so that the immersive factor is still there.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Totally.
I forgot what the question was, to be honest.
We do some consulting.
I was asking about your website, and then I just popped in consulting because I think you guys, I haven't seen anybody that offers consulting, so I think it was really cool.
So I think it was Thanksgiving one year. I was driving up to Jersey for the weekend, and we had a phone call the entire ride where we were actually banging out what we wanted the rubric to be, and which ones were graded and which ones were not. So, if you're on the site, we give our initial expectations, then we grade the story, the mission, the puzzle diversity, puzzle complexity, and then the flow and cohesiveness and how unique the room is. Then we talk about, did we have fun in general? How was the game master? Were the clues that we were given if we requested any help? And then we each have our own personal ratings. Me, how angry and frustrated did I get? And Tim, it's how many times did he facepalm? And then we give a Jerry Springer final thought on the end. So that's how we figured that out. But the backstory on why we started the blog itself was we had done a room with some of his friends from college. We all went out to dinner in Chinatown after, and one of them was like, "Why don't you guys just start a blog? You've done all these rooms.
You've done 17 rooms already. Like, why don't you review them?"
So we looked at Jim and said, "Okay," and I pulled up my phone and got the URL. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
About a year to get caught up on all of those rooms, plus the ones we did in the meantime. But that's how it all started.
So that's why we also have on the very front page of the website, the first post is a sticky post that says, "What the hell is this?"
Yes, yep.
So it's like, now it gives you a really good explanation as to how to move through the site. Are you looking for a recommendation? We have a recommendation form that if you're going to be in the area or you need a recommendation, send us an email and we'll tell us like how many people, are you experienced players and things like that. So we have recommendation emails from people, so we'll give them that. We always say, hey, let us know which ones you picked. But the tagging and do you want to see the ones that we failed? Because we do have a we failed tag. So
not that many.
It's not that.
We're still over 90%.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. I think that's super cool. Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to share before I ask you for your website?
Sure. So check out. We're trying to build more. We're trying to embrace and help people with escape rooms. Like bring escape rooms to every person. So most of the locations we go to, we do interviews. We'll talk to owners and see if they want to give us discount codes. So if you search for escape room discounts, we're pretty highly rated. We waffle between 2 and 3 after Groupon and paid ads. So
we're number 1 for about a month and a half.
But Groupon is Groupon,
yeah.
So we do get companies have said they get a lot of traction from the codes that they give us, and we don't earn anything off of those codes. So it's just to help anyone who wants to play, like just make their addiction a little less hurtful.
Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you guys so much for all of you watching at home. We appreciate it. Guys, for people to go to your blog, what is the website?
Sure, it's www.theescaperoomguys.com.
Awesome. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. We will have another episode for you guys next Tuesday. We will see you soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.